Hello everyone, my name is Ellie Underwood and I'm a senior here studying neurobiology on the Mind-Brain Behavior track. And today I'm really excited to be talking to you about my time in Japan over the past couple of years, tracing three main experiences that I've had. The first was a personal trip to Tokyo the summer after my freshman year. The second was a summer doing neurobiology research in Okinawa, and the third was a continuation of this research most recently at the University of Tokyo over the past summer. So from my name alone, you might not have guessed that I was half Japanese on my mother's side. And growing up, I didn't really feel this heritage as a huge presence in my life. I really liked Japanese foods, and I looked forward to going to the Japanese bakery with my favorite pastries. But other than that, I didn't have so much knowledge about the language, culture, or customs of Japan. Now I can say that I have traversed the country from the southernmost islands of Okinawa to Hokkaido in the north, places that even my mother had never visited before. And I arrived at this point through a combination of good fortune, the initiative to forge my own path, and the invaluable support of many people along the way. So this whole journey really began with a trip to Tokyo the summer after my freshman year, where I spent some time visiting my grandparents and sightseeing with my mom. And at this point, I really only knew three phrases in Japanese: yoroshiku onegai shimasu, or nice to meet you; sumimasen, excuse me; and arigatou gozaimasu, or thank you very much. And these three phrases really served as my lifeline in the country, allowing me to interact with people despite any language barrier. And through these seemingly small interactions, I found that this country, which felt so foreign to me, was at the same time so willing to welcome me with open arms. And all of my attempts at reaching out were really met with enthusiasm and encouragement everywhere we went. So returning to America, I felt that my desire to know more about the country was growing, so I began studying the Japanese language and enrolled in courses here at Harvard, studying Buddhism and Japanese culture. And as a dancer myself, I found some aspects of traditional Japanese performing arts particularly fascinating, and I began to think about how I could incorporate some elements and ideas into my own ways of movement and into my own life. However, as a neurobiology concentrator on the pre-med track, I didn't really think there would be much room in my schedule for a future return visit to Japan. That is, until I sought out the opportunity to study in a neurobiology lab at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology. And this was really an incredible experience for me to be immersed in an environment of collaborative research, surrounded by people from all over the world with incredible mentors and scientists with really diverse research interests. And at the same time, I found myself immersed in the natural beauty of this tropical island, where I was able to hike to beautiful waterfalls and swim alongside sea turtles, showing me a side of Japan that I had never really imagined or knew existed before. Okinawa felt very removed from the rest of Japan, but I was still really excited to experience some aspects of traditional Okinawan culture, including Eisa dance and music at their summer festivals. And while I was there, I formed some long-lasting friendships with people that I remain close with to this day. So I really thought that the summer couldn't get any better, which is why I was overjoyed at the opportunity to be able to return to Japan this past summer to continue this research, but this year at the University of Tokyo. And my research project was really a continuation of the work I had been doing in Okinawa and my ongoing research here at Harvard. But I had a much greater level of independence this year, and it was at times challenging to find myself alone working in the lab, but it was at the same time really rewarding to see how far I had progressed from the previous year in terms of my scientific development. It was also great for me to be able to return to Japan to renew my connections with lab members from Okinawa, while at the same time forming some new friendships with people at the University of Tokyo. And I felt that everyone in Tokyo was so welcoming and really made me feel at home, even in this foreign country. And I became better at communicating in Japanese during this time, and that really came in handy. Since I was in Tokyo, I was able to spend some more time with my grandparents. And I spent some time with my oba-chan, or grandmother, shown here. And during countless prior visits with her, my mom had always been around to translate between the two of us. So now, interacting with her for the first time on my own, I wondered how we would be able to understand each other. So I told her in my limited Japanese about how I had gone to see a kabuki show the week before with some other students. And I don't think I was able to tell her exactly in words what this meant to me after having studied traditional Japanese theater and worked on my own interpretive dance project here at Harvard. But I do think that I was able to convey the sense of wonder and excitement that I felt upon seeing this performance live. And this moment really felt for me like the culmination of everything I had been working towards, the desire to reconnect more deeply with my heritage, while at the same time figuring out what it meant to me to be both Japanese and American and finding my own place between these two countries. So I definitely wouldn't have gotten to this point without the help of many people along the way who I would like to thank. I wanted to say first that I carried this same sense of wonder and gratitude with me throughout all of my experiences in Japan, with each subsequent trip bringing something new that taught me really to broaden my horizons and seek out opportunities even when there was no immediately obvious path laid out. And to do that, I had the help of many people who I'd like to thank here at Harvard, in Okinawa, and Tokyo, everyone that provided me with such amazing mentorship and support at every step. And to close, I'd like to finish with a story about the first time that I had come to Japan 4 years ago when I hiked to the summit of Mount Fuji. And I watched the sunrise from the summit and thought that this moment must be the pinnacle of my achievement here. But little did I know that this moment was just one of many to come of accomplishment and reflection. And I know that the journey of discovering my own relationship to Japan is one that I will continue for the rest of my life. Thank you.